day everyone, now I'm gonna make a reaction video about the movie The Last Emperor. But before we start off, here are some interesting facts about the last Emperor Puyi. Number 1. Puyi was the only emperor to be enthroned 3 times. Number 2. Puyi was the youngest emperor at only 2. Number 3. Puyi's abdication was the end of Imperial China. Number 4. Henry was the first emperor to wear suits and learn English. Number 5. The last emperor was the first emperor to be divorced. Number 6. Puyi served 10 years in prison as a war criminal. Number 7. Puyi spent his final 8 years as an ordinary People's Republic of China citizen. Number 8. The last emperor made Puyi the most famous Chinese emperor in 1987. And now, let's start off. The movie The Last Emperor is in 1987. The movie The Last Emperor is a 1987 historical epic biographical film depicting the life of Puyi, the last emperor of China. It was directed by Bernardo Bertolucci, starring John Lone as Puyi. The film was a drama or history film with a running time of 3 hours and 39 minutes, and it was also the first Western film authorized by the People's Republic of China to film in the Forbidden City. It also won many awards. The Best Picture is only one of the 9 Academy Awards it won. The movie begins with Puyi arriving at a prison in China wherein he attempted suicide, but then he was revived by the prison governor. The story was then followed by many flashbacks starting from his arrival at the Forbidden City at the age of 3, ordered by the dying Empress Dowager, and then declares him as the emperor. After a revolution that bring down the Qing Dynasty, Puyi then find out that he is no longer the emperor of China but only in the Forbidden City, because China is now a republic. He was then given a tutor to feed him information on what is happening outside the Forbidden City. After some time, Puyi and other inhabitants were ordered to leave the Forbidden City, which paved the way for him and his wives to take residence in Japan. And after Mr. Johnson returned to the West, Puyi became an emperor of the Japanese puppet state of Manchukuo. And when Japan loses the World War II, he was captured, but after spending years as a prisoner, he was then released and became a gardener. He then saw a parade wherein he saw the prison governor who helped him. The movie ended with Puyi visiting the Forbidden City not as an emperor but as a tourist. He then releases the cricket that was given to him when he was a child. The movie was good and was worth your 3.5 hours, especially it is not just a movie to watch when you are bored. It also tells us about the rich culture of China, especially when it comes to the dynasties and so much more. It is also a good reference for learning the history, because many of us find history quite boring. But learning it in a way of watching is fun, which makes the movie a good learning source. In general, the movie is worth to watch. While watching the movie, I noticed something symbolic. The cricket that was given to him when he was a child and just starting off as an emperor was enclosed in a tiny cage which represents him. And in my understanding, it can be interpreted as the little Puyi having to take the load of being an emperor that comes with many tasks. Or simply Puyi being caged in the Forbidden City, while in the ending part, it is shown that he releases the cricket, which can also be interpreted as him being released from being an emperor, and he enjoys his simple life as a gardener, or it can also symbolize the release provided by death as he disappeared suddenly from the room. And before I end this video, I will leave a quote from Mr. Johnston. If you cannot say what you mean, Your Majesty, you will never mean what you say, and a gentleman should always mean what he says. Goodbye.
Come along with me. step.